All right, we're officially getting this Facebook Live going. Hi, I'm Gina Sunderland, Food and Consumer Relations Specialist Dietitian with Manitoba Chicken Producers. Welcome to our Festive Favorites Facebook and Instagram Live. Before I go any further, I am really excited to have a special guest with me this evening, my friend and colleague, dietitian Nita Sharda. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Nita.
Hi, thank you so much, Gina, first of all, for letting me co-host this event with you. I'm so excited. And hello to everyone. As Gina mentioned, I'm also a registered dietitian and I work in a few different capacities, but one of my favorites is actually working with families and in particular parents with really, really young children and just helping them navigate through nutrition and sort of the challenges that can sometimes come along with feeding our families. And it's interesting, I did the math a little while ago, and between the ages of your baby being 6 months and then an adult 18-year-old, you're feeding your child 20,000 meals. So
oh my goodness,
yeah, it's a lot of food. So I'm really excited.
Meals are so important,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And really, when we think of the holidays, there's nothing more important than enjoying good, delicious, nutritious food with friends and family. And for all of you tuning in tonight, we have a special little holiday gift. We have our brand new More Cooking with Manitoba Chicken booklet. It has the recipes in it that we're going to be making tonight. It has a great little infographic on how to perfectly roast a whole chicken, which I'm going to share with all of you tonight. For anyone that would like their very own copy, please send a direct message to the Manitoba Chicken Instagram or Facebook page, and I'll be more than happy to get a copy in the mail to you right away for your holiday season. Mm-hmm. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to talk people through how to roast a whole chicken. You know, Nita, I get a lot of questions.
Yeah.
People aren't sure how to roast a whole chicken if they haven't done that before.
Yeah, I think it can be intimidating for some
people. That's right.
Yeah.
But it really is so simple. So here are 6 foolproof steps. So simply take your chicken home, take it out of the package, and put it into a roasting pan or a pan like this with sides. Put it in the pan, breast side up. There is no need to rinse your chicken or wash your chicken. Just put it into the pan, set your oven to 375 degrees and let it preheat. Next step is season your chicken with your favorite seasonings. Some of my favorites are just a little bit of salt and pepper. And I like to put some parsley and a little bit of celery and maybe some onions into the cavity of the chicken. Pop that chicken in that 375 degree oven for about 90 minutes. And roast it or bake it. And the best way to know that that chicken is done is to use your meat thermometer. So for a whole chicken, you insert the probe of the meat thermometer into the thickest part of the breast meat, and it should read 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius. Take your chicken out of the oven once it reaches that temperature. And the last and final step to ensure you have perfect, delicious, moist chicken is just to tent it with foil for about 10 to 15 minutes, and all those juices go back inside the chicken, and you've got that wonderful, moist chicken. And if you do have any leftovers, you can use them to make the delicious recipe that Nita is going to show us how to make next. So what are we making, Nita?
We are going to be making chicken cheese and lime quesadillas. And one of the big things before we get started, and I feel like we can't overemphasize this enough, is we want to wash our hands for 20 seconds with soap. Make sure that we're ready to handle our food before we get right in. And the second really great kind of home tip that I have for you in the kitchen is to have 2 separate cutting boards. You want to have something that is plastic for things like fish, poultry, and raw meat. And so that's really great to use. You can also keep a separate cutting board for things like your produce, your vegetables, your herbs, and that really helps to make sure that everything is not going to be cross-contaminated and keeps everything nice and separate and safe.
Food safe. We want to be happy and healthy throughout our holidays and not get sick. So those are great tips. Perfect. And also, anytime you handle raw chicken, just go and give your hands a quick wash as well. So just a couple quick steps like that. Those tips are always so helpful and keeps everyone healthy throughout the holiday season and at all times too.
And I love this recipe.
Me too.
It's very simple, and I think one of my favorite parts is it includes 2 different cheeses. And the first one you're going to start with is cream cheese. And this has already been softened, which makes it really, really easy to mix together. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add in my cooked chicken. It's about 2 cups, and I'm gonna add that in. And then you're gonna add in your green onion, some jalapenos, and if you aren't a big fan of a lot of heat in your food, that's okay. You can omit that if you'd like.
Right.
And I actually prefer just to add in my cilantro right into the mixture and then give it a really big mix all together.
Yeah.
And the most important part that adds a lot of flavor is actually the lime juice. So I'm gonna give this a big stir and mix it all together.
I like using fresh lime juice. I find it has a lot of really nice flavor that really comes through. So it's about 2 tablespoons. You could add a little more. And sometimes I just put a squeeze of lime juice on top as well. I can smell the cilantro. I can smell the lime.
Yeah.
This is also a great way to use up some leftover chicken, right?
Yeah. And I actually really like to get my kids involved in the kitchen, Gina.
Yeah, so do I.
Often, before I'm even like preparing for meals, I try to think of, okay, like what could my kiddos help me out with?
Right.
And so I often will get them to slice up the chicken once it's been cooked. And I've got these really great kid-friendly knives, and they work really well with
so they don't get
chicken.
cut. They're plastic. Those are so neat. What a great little idea. A nice little stocking stuffer maybe.
Yeah.
Get kids involved. And this is a fun recipe to do with your kids over that Christmas break. It's something they can make as an appetizer or for a quick lunch.
Yeah.
And if you have that leftover roast chicken, it's a wonderful way to repurpose it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
you can
that's
see
good.
everything looks really great and colorful. I'm going to go ahead and place the filling, the mixture onto tortillas. You can use corn tortillas, you could use whole wheat. It doesn't really matter what size. Do whatever kind of works for you and your family and the portion that you want. So once I've got that on, you're just gonna add in a little bit of your preferred cheese. You could use Monterey Jack, some cheddar, something really sharp.
Whatever you have on hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever your kids like.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Okay,
And
you
that's
put that
it.
on top.
We're gonna put it on top.
Right.
And you're just gonna go ahead and grill this.
Right. And so there's a number of different ways you and I have made these, right? You said that you have a pan with the little grill lines that you were able to use to make the tortillas, the quesadillas on display.
Yeah.
I have a panini sandwich press and it works great. And I've even
wonderful.
I've even brought this out to a campsite.
Okay.
Okay. And put it
That's
right on the
awesome.
grill for a few
Yeah.
minutes. So it's just so versatile. You can serve it with a little bit of salsa. Yeah.
Yeah, and
delicious.
I tried to get a little bit festive here, and
You
I
did.
found some sun-dried tomato and spinach quesadillas, and I
Nice.
thought, you know what, why not? It's really great as even a finger food option if you're having guests over and you want to serve it as an appetizer.
Perfect. Yeah, it's one of our favorites. It is so nice. A great one to make over the holidays. Well, Nita, a festive favorites Facebook Live wouldn't be a festive party if we didn't have great prizes. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in this evening to join us. We're always so appreciative of our community. And we also want to mention that we have 3 wonderful $75 grocery gift cards just for tuning in and sharing a comment or asking Nita and I a question about the recipes, or if you have a question about cooking chicken or about chicken farming. We are really excited to move to our question and answer period at the end. And when you ask a question or share a comment, you'll be entered into a draw to win one of 3 of $75 grocery gift cards. And I'll be sending you a direct message this evening after the event to let you know if you've won. And tomorrow morning, you will have that gift card in your inbox. And it is enough to make these 3 recipes, to buy a whole chicken, to make the baked chicken parmesan, and the chicken lime and cheese quesadillas.
Amazing.
So gets everyone set for their holiday menu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for your meal,
Me
actually.
too. So this is a brand new recipe, our baked chicken parmesan, and I love it because chicken parmesan, it's a chicken classic, but typically it's a lot of work and a lot of frying.
Yeah.
This is a baked version, equally as delicious, healthier, and wonderful. So you start out by pounding your chicken breast, and that allows the chicken to cook quickly. You preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I like to use a meat mallet. I put a piece of saran wrap on top and I pound the chicken, or you can use a small saucepan. And then you get your chicken to about the thickness of maybe about, just around a centimeter thick.
Okay.
And then you have 1 beaten egg. So there's a couple steps here. And Nita, I'm going to get you to help me make the coating. So we've got 1 cup of our panko crumbs. We've got 1 cup of breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is Parmesan.
That is 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan. Yeah. We've got half a teaspoon of pepper. We've got a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of basil, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. So easy. So Nita, if you want to just mix that all up for me.
It smells really good already, Gina, with the herbs.
It does. Yeah. So just blending that together. And that makes our beautiful coating. So there's a little trick with this recipe. There's a couple little tricks. Well, one of the tricks is to have this coating nicely blended. I'm just going to start by taking the chicken so you can see it's nice and thin and pounded. And I am going to put it in that egg wash. And the egg wash, so typically you would just pat these dry a little bit. Now, these are already dry. They've been out for a few moments. I did that ahead of time. And next I'm going to put it into that crumb mix. And then Nita, I'm going to have you just start spooning some of that crumb mix on top. Okay.
I'm often intimidated by chicken parmesan, but you're making this look really easy, Gina.
You know what? This is so easy. This is definitely a wonderful holiday recipe, but it's a great weeknight recipe too because it's just so quick and comes together so easily. So the tricks are, 1, you want to really pat that coating into that chicken breast, Nita, and make sure it's beautifully coated. Trick number 2, because this is a baked recipe, you can foil a pan, quick cleanup, but give it a good coating with oil. Okay. And that's what gives the chicken a nice crisping. Okay, so there we go. It's that simple. Just get another one here. And I'll have you start to add the coating on top.
So that oil really prevents you from having to use too much.
Yeah. So it's nice and healthy. So these bake for about 30 minutes at 400 degrees. Take them out of the oven, flip them over, and just put a spoonful of an already prepared tomato sauce on top. And then some grated mozzarella cheese. So this recipe makes 4 chicken breasts. And it's about a cup of sauce, about a cup of cheese, a 1/4 cup on each. Just pop them back in the oven, boil them for about 5 minutes, and voila, you've got your beautiful baked chicken parmigiana. I love to serve it over pasta or on its own or with a salad. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and it looks so elegant, I have to say. It looks beautiful, Gina.
And it is so easy. Well, certainly it's been great to make these recipes with you, Nita. They've come together so quickly. They're wonderful options for people's holiday menus, a great appetizer or easy lunch, the roast chicken if you're having a smaller gathering, the chicken parmigiana if you want something that looks a little fancier, but of course is easy for us moms to pull together and even get our kids involved. So now I'm really excited to turn it over to the question period and see what questions people have for us.
So a couple of people have asked, do they need to be basting their chicken while it's cooking for a whole roast chicken?
Yeah, about halfway through I do. I like to open that oven, check that chicken, and I like to baste it with the pan juices. So that is a great way to help ensure that you get a beautiful crispy skin as well as to help keep that breast meat nice and moist. So that is a wonderful question. Thank you for that.
And how long can chicken be left in the fridge before it's cooked?
Well, you should definitely check the date on the package. There's always a best use by date when you bring your chicken home from the grocery store. And if you have frozen your chicken and you've thawed it, it should be cooked within 3 days. Cooked and used. Yep.
So how long can someone leave a frozen chicken defrosting in the fridge?
Well, it should typically thaw overnight. So usually I like to think of what I'm going to make the next day, and I'll go into my deep freeze and I'll pull out my chicken, whether it's whole chicken or a package of chicken breasts or chicken thighs, and put it on a pan on the lowest rack of your fridge to make sure there isn't any juice leaking from that chicken. And by the next day, when you're ready to make your supper, that chicken should be thawed.
And do you have any suggestions for ingredient swaps or just simply changing some of these recipes to accommodate picky eaters?
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
Nita,
I think
ahead.
for something like this, you could definitely deconstruct things for your child and give them the option of using this filling, or if they're not quite ready and they're still learning to eat. I say that a lot with parents, your child's learning to eat. You can start off with just a cheese quesadilla and serve the chicken on the side until they're feeling a little bit more adventurous to kind of take it on. And then definitely the jalapeno, I mean that can be really spicy depending on what kind of a jalapeno you get, but it does add really great flavor. But if your family's not, particularly into spice, just set it aside, and then you can have a couple jalapenos in your quesadilla if you'd like.
Right, you can use different types of cheese. So we use Monterey Jack, but if your child's more familiar with cheddar, that's a great one. Or you could leave out the cilantro. It just depends. They could put it on top if they wanted to give it a try.
Yeah.
Serve it with their favorite salsa or another type of a dip. I've even served these with like a ranch dressing or sour cream. So there's lots of different things you can do. And with the chicken parmigiana, you can top it with whatever kind of tomato sauce that you like, whatever type of cheese you like. Sometimes, I've made this a few times. I've added a little less Parmesan to the coating mix. There's lots of different things you can do. You can use Italian seasoning, seasoned breadcrumbs or different types of breadcrumbs to give it a little bit of a different flavor. But yeah, really the sky is the limit when it comes to home cooking. You can modify recipes, and that's one of the beauties of making a lot of meals at home, because you can add ingredients that you have on hand, or ingredients that you like can be substituted for ones that maybe your family doesn't always enjoy.
Yeah. I kind of always view recipes as kind of a guiding star, but if you want to add in your own little bit, go for it. I think that's what makes it really unique.
It makes cooking so much fun. Yeah, okay. So we want to wish everyone a very, very happy holiday season. I want to give a big shout out to our Manitoba chicken producers, farmers. They have been there for us throughout all of this time, ensuring that we have healthy, local chicken in our grocery stores for us to enjoy as a wonderful source of protein. So a huge thank you to all of our Manitoba chicken producers, farmers. And we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. And we'd like to say very happy holidays. So thank you for always supporting our Facebook Lives, and we can't wait to see you in the new year. Happy holidays, everyone. Take care. Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone.